But as soon as the earthquake came, I just became addicted to it. That's where all the information came from. That's where at least all the more or less honest information came from. I mean, you could read what was what the Japanese media was reporting on the disaster, and then you could read or watch TV about what the foreign media. But as soon as you got on Twitter, you actually saw those two perspectives in a completely new way, and I think it really helped me at least read them. At least the whole anti-nuclear power story is probably less a story about people reacting against nuclear power than against reacting against information that they didn't trust, you know. So that's I think, to me, that's why the general population, I shouldn't say general population, but that sector of the general population who became more vocal, that's why they did it. It wasn't so much because like, oh yeah, I always hated nuclear power. It's just like, you know, I don't really get what the authorities are telling me. Are people actually, like, you know, stocking up for the next earthquake? Are they actually lobbying their local governments to do better civil engineering to make their communities better? Are they tearing down houses which are going to burn or collapse, you know, in a second if the big one comes? So far they haven't, you know, and I don't see them necessarily, I don't see the government at least necessarily going ahead with anything except the more cosmetic stuff, like, you know, let's make sure these nuclear plants are safe, or let's make sure we have some sort of evacuation system. But you need a lot more than that in a country like Japan, you know, and those things are really huge. And, you know, after the bubble, things did change because they had, you know, people's attitudes changed, you know, but still the government, at least the authorities, didn't do anything. They still had the same sort of economic system, which they thought this system is what brought us out of World War II and made us the second biggest economic power there was. But obviously after the bubble period, they were obligated to change all that, or at least to bring it about, and they never did because they felt so safe with that system, you know, because it had been successful in the past. I think the attitude was already changed, and I think maybe it reinforced it more than anything. But what I just wonder if it's just made people more cynical. That whole Flygene controversy afterwards, I thought was pretty much a tempest in a teapot, you know.
Yeah,
some people who could leave, if you could leave and you wanted to leave, then you left. There wasn't particularly much controversy in that, I thought, you know. Writing about 3/11 was more like it was the only way I could think of how to engage it on a personal level, because I didn't really know what else to do, you know. I couldn't, like I said, like I just said, we had nowhere to go, and yet the thing is right in front of you all the time, and it doesn't go away. And I was at that time until June, until I moved, I was living in that building, which was always and every time there was an aftershock, which is quite often, you know, you got a real good idea of what was going on. You know, you can never escape it, you know. So writing about it at least gave me a chance to engage in it in a way that made me feel I could confront the whole thing honestly.